Does iRacing look a little different? Does it feel a little refreshed? Does it make you think, wow, ARCA Menards Series Racing, wasn't the ARCA cars in iRacing since the beginning? Well, yes, that with the Gen 4 stock car, but now it is back with the Gen 6 car, the car you'll see racing at Salem Speedway later this year or throughout the entire ARCA Menards Series schedule. It is on display for you with 3 races guaranteed here tonight. I'm John Ramos, the voice of NR, saying hello and welcome to Kansas Speedway as we kick off this Tuesday night edition of NR Night in America. Over 62 drivers have worked their way to the Heartland with an opportunity to qualify inside the top 40 to then race for 80 laps locked in. That's how we get ready to roll. Buys, Collazo, Walker, Sanders, Champagne, the ones you know, maybe some that you're still trying to learn, like John Singer, Owen Lebsack, Nicholas Rode, Ty Leclerc. We talked to drivers saying, okay, you got to see what the racing was last night. Do we bring it back? Most of them said for super speedways, of course, yes. But for the intermediates, no need to have a race in. Have the top 40 qualify, and let's get ready to roll. So that's what we're going to be doing here tonight. 62 drivers, top 40 advance. All eyes as the count continues to go down. Currently at a 3:47, 3:46. We saw Cody Meadows go quick time back in his practice session. Max Swearengin, Upainski. This Gen 6 ARCA car looks fantastic. From afar, it does look like what you saw with the NASCAR Cup Series in 2013, even 2014. And that got us thinking, what if we took this car and had a couple cosplay community events from that era? Forever, we couldn't do that, and well, now the opportunity technically is there. On a super speedway, I don't think so, because the valence of that car kicks out so far in front and dimes it down. It very much shows that it's different from what we saw back in 2013, 2014 with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. This car, loud, proud, exciting at that, but nonetheless, I think we can definitely get away with it. The races tonight are done by design. Does the track look a little different here at Kansas? It has the new texture update, the new lighting package, and oh my goodness, does it look fantastic. It looks racy as well. Kevin Champagne in the Cole Raz 76 working his way off turn number 2 as he gets ready to put down a qualifying effort. The tracks tonight that are guaranteed will all have the new lighting package. Dover and Homestead have a new update with the grandstands as well. It's going to look fantastic. Now, we only tested Kansas with the camera angles, so heading to Dover and Homestead, things may look a little bit different if iRacing really put a lot on the table. Next stream after this will be the Area Cup Series at Homestead Miami Speedway coming Monday night. That's right, no stream this Friday. NASCAR is in Las Vegas. I will be up in the great state of Michigan for media as well in Ohio and in the Indiana area. Part of the 4 or 5 day run until come back Monday for the sim racing action. Kai Collymore, Connor Murphy, others lined in. Anthony Burrows goes P2. Just a 5.8 back there, Dylan Basin. Quick time for Basin, a 37.68. Ben Herter. Ty Leclerc, you saw him in the most recent e-ticket. Joseph Armstrong, he raced last night. These ARCA schemes look great. And the great thing about it, these drivers very excited to have this car racing tonight. No short tracks. Dover is kind of a mix in between, just about a mile long. But when we go to Homestead Miami Speedway, we expect multi-groove racing, ripping top, ripping bottom, to show what they've got. New Bigging in 20th, Kendall Carpenter in 23rd on pit road. Owen Lebsack, Keith Ingram. Some drivers looking in, some drivers looking out. On the bubble, Jerry Rodriguez. Last one in, first one out, Damian Vega. The eyes to William Schmidt. over 189 miles per hour down into turn 1. Schmitty, he jumps to P7. The thing about Schmidt is he watches the ARCA series every single week, whether it's Salem, whether it's Elko, whether they're racing at Toledo, Daytona, Talladega, does not matter. Schmidt is there. He may be saying 3 races, that's interesting. Can we get more? I'd say so. 200 likes, we'll get there. We've been having this debate back and forth with drivers. A lot of drivers, they've been saying, let's go to Daytona, let's go to Talladega. And I told them, we just did that last night. We did all the super speedways last night. Why should we go ahead and do it again? And the real answer is, well, oversaturation. We don't want to oversaturate the market. But if you guys want it that badly, we may have to consider. But yes, 200 likes. We will get there to race number 4. Only 3 races last night because we were going to stream tonight. 80 laps at the Kansas Speedway as we get ready to roll with all these beautiful machines on deck. Palazzo, Buys, Gavin Austin, and so many others have taken the grid for us to go green. Lane Sanders just barely etching in. Let's talk to some guys before we go green. You know, let's actually talk with Cody Workman. He's got a great surprise for us. Workman, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Hey, we're doing good. How you doing, buddy?
Starting deep in the field. We know we just started the stream 5 minutes in. Viewers still rolling on through. But for you, trying to lock into that 40-car show, a little bit difficult with 62 guys. You just got in. What's the next path?
We're just going to learn a bit. It's really fun whenever iRacing puts on a new car, new product. Everybody is at the same baseline, so you kind of got that to go with. But we'll see. We'll see how we can work our way up to the front here. Try not to get caught up in other people's mess. Everybody's learning here, but everybody's going to be going for it just because we're not entirely sure what to expect, but should be fun.
You have something pretty cool going on. Just saw the DM. You want to announce to everyone what you're doing at Homestead Miami Speedway?
Yeah, so we did the Truck Series Invocation last October, and once again I get to go ahead and represent our Young Life area next weekend by doing the invocation for the Xfinity Series. Our area is about 2.5 hours from Homestead, Miami. The people at NASCAR asked me to come back and do it for Xfinity. It's been amazing to see the partnership with Young Life and NASCAR over the past number of weeks, between seeing our car being on the Joe Gibbs 19 and getting that in victory lane. So in the Young Life world, man, it's pretty cool what we got going on right now. It sure is a pleasure to be a part of it.
The really cool thing is, if you kind of think about it on a year-to-year basis, you know, you're kind of moving up. Now you're with the Xfinity Series, with doing the invocation. Young Life just won with Eric Almirola last Saturday. What is it like standing in front of a crowd and then giving a prayer?
It's definitely has a new meaning of being a televangelist for a bit. But you know, my crowd is usually getting to speak in front of middle schoolers and high schoolers, and usually about 30, 40 of us at a time. But it's a cool experience, man. Despite everything that's gone on personally since moving to Florida, between hurricanes and all the other stuff, to have this opportunity to, give the invocation, it's something that not a whole lot of people get to do. I thought last year was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and here we get to do it again. And like you said, we're moving up, and if the trend continues to moving up, then, a certain racetrack gets to host a championship next year, who knows what may happen. But just super blessed and thankful for the opportunity from NASCAR and get to represent Young Life, and we'll see what we can do here tonight.
Gonna be fun indeed. So glad so many great things are happening with you and the Homestead at Miami Speedway. Cody Workman, good luck here tonight. Race fans, let's go ahead and say those magical words. God speed drivers. You are go for throttle up. The drivers you see tonight always have an impact in person in some way, shape, or form. Could be in the motorsport industry, could be just In the case of a local church, I get an opportunity to go do great things. Homestead Miami Speedway for myself was a huge stomping ground from 2009 on forward. Unfortunately, will not be attending the 2025 edition of their Cup race. But really excited to see what is coming in the near future with the facility. And hopefully, I'll be back in 2026. The ARCA Menards Series is here in iRacing. 80 laps of thunder from the heartland. Welcome to Kansas. Let's light the fuse. Three by three did not take long. Armstrong outside, he's got company behind him. Aiden Walker takes advantage just to the outside of the Basin machine. I mean, it's like they're all over each other from about 7th on back. Then Herder. Try to net gain. Eladon Contreras still 3 wide. 4 wide looking. Trevor Hoff stuck dead in the middle. Burrows. Ooh, went for the deep dive. Wasn't able to get it. Rolling into the 2nd position, but will hold on to 3rd. Joseph Armstrong in 4th. Closes into the back bumper of Aiden Walker. Basin leads, lap 3 of 80. The thing is, already learning from this new car, it's going to be tight racing, 1 around deep in the field. Finding out that is Jackson Brown at 35. Joey Beck, P4. Ooh, just nubbed the outside wall. And he's been running a lot more towards the front in these races with NR Night in America. Beck topside lined up with Aiden Walker, who's just behind him, Daniel Mosteller at 87. Mason leads. And if you ever had the opportunity to go to an ARCA Menards Series race, very interesting. A couple of drivers have actually worked Elko for the ARCA Menards Series. Look no further than Braden Mubbock. Trouble 1 sideways just in front of the pack. Trevor Hoff. And out of Woe Machines down, you see Max Swearinger with damage. The caution will wave. Working lap 5 out of 80. And the entire nose of that machine got ripped apart. Left front suspension, you see it all bent out of shape. Max Swearinger will have to head to Iowa if he wants the opportunity of winning tonight. As from what we just saw, things can happen. They can happen very quickly. And they very much did. Let's watch a replay. Watch the double. Oh, I wouldn't say the double zero. Watch the 0. Get into Eladon Contreras. Field flies around. Back on the bottom. Marty Shamela through the grass. And Max Swearinger in a late impact. Then up the nose. Trevor Hoff again in 0. He just swiped down right in front of Eladon Contreras. And Max Swearinger, nowhere to go. So the caution will wave for the first time. Pit road is wide open. Joseph Armstrong is in. Anthony Burrows is in. Early part of this race. You can already get a good idea of how tight the racing will be. Let's hear from other drivers to see what they think. John Ramos, tight racing, is it going to be like that throughout the race, or do you think tire wear will come in?
Well, I hope tire wear comes in because I just got a penalty.
Oh.
Yeah, hopefully this goes green. That just kind of made me even more upset than I already am. So, Yeah, unfortunately we got a few cars to pass here, and just hope that I don't get caught up in the carnage, because for some reason it's been very common over the last 20 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, I was having a good time running at the front. Just wish that I wish the yellow didn't come out. Like, I wish they didn't wreck, and then two, I wish I just didn't speed on pit road. That would have made my life a lot easier at the moment. But it is what it is. We're gonna focus forward. We've got over 70 laps to make it all back, so hopefully we can have a shot at the end.
Let's do a little bit of comparing and contrasting as we get the one to go sim to reality. And when I spoke with William Sawalich at Milwaukee, he said driving on this General tire is like riding on a hockey puck. It's very tough. It's, you know, stiff. And comparing that to the Goodyear tire, where they try their best with the Gen 6 or even the Xfinity series machine to get tire wear rolling in, you can feel that wear kind of just start right off the gun. Are you starting to see that, or do we still need to see a lot of racing left, more racing in this event before we can possibly understand the difference?
Well, I mean, we're on the General tire, obviously, so I don't know how much that makes a difference in iRacing, but I feel like the tires should kind of wear similar to what it has been before. We didn't get a long enough right there to really see where it would go at Kansas specifically. But with the update to the car itself, it drives a lot different than it did yesterday, obviously. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes in the versus green flag run.
All right, fun to see. That's Joseph Armstrong, has work to do, has come to the tail end of the longest line after that penalty, speeding on pit road. DeAngelis versus Basin, they'll restart. Matt Green from Kansas Speedway. Three wide, you saw one wash well out of the groove. Herder in the number 40 machine. DeAngelis, top side of the racetrack. Moss Stellar in the middle. And Basin got a whole nose worth. Just past the start-finish line. DeAngelis, 69. Now has Anthony Burrows just behind. They got 71 laps to work with, unlike we saw from the jump of the race. These cars have really spread on out. Chad Hornish, Kendall Carpenter, Eladon Contreras. Well deep in the field, and these drivers wanting nothing to do with the pack racing we saw right off the gun. We're not done with ARCA. After this, we go to Iowa, then Homestead Miami Speedway for race number 3. I don't believe ARCA has ever raced down in South Florida, but with the new texture package coming to that racetrack, we're going to show it off with this new car. Joey Beck in the 5th position as Moss Stellar and Burrows now ahead of him. Top 4, nose to tail. William Schmidt inches off the outside retaining wall. Ben Herder in 7th, Mari Shamela in 8th, Hector Colazo in 9th. Basin dive bombing to the inside of 3 and 4. Now we have seen ARCA drivers race in our night in America in the past. You think of Presley Sora that has taken the green flag with us. You even think of Ryan Vargas, Dawson Sun, who is now in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. But there's also drivers that have worked mechanically on cars and still do. Frank DeAngelis, the driver leading the race, originally suspended from NR Night in America, till every driver in that driver's meeting, there was over 20, said, bring him back, just give him one more shot. And right now he's showing it off, what he's able to do. He works with Alex Clubb in 03, who also works with the 03 camp, Herbert Solomon. Both those drivers of NR9 in America were at Daytona as mechanics and will be a part of the club team throughout the 2025 campaign. Three wide looking Basin. You can see Joey back on the bottom, DeAngelis on the outside. It's starting to group back together, so we can see the draft is very much on the dependent side with this car, including with the setups being exactly identical from the driver that started first to the driver that started in 40th. Burrows in 5th, Schmidt up to 6th. And we consider William Schmidt a huge super fan of the ARCA Menards series. Once again, as previously mentioned, watches every single week. And the ARCA Menards series holds a little more value than many may seem to myself. Why is that? The first in-person gig I had was with the ARCA Menards series at Salem Speedway for the Her Snacks 200. That was back in 2022, late September. And up to that point, I was working social media at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. They said, hey, we need someone over the PA to do pre-race. Come on down and give it a whirl. And I said, heck yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Ever since then, I've actually been at Salem Speedway every week for the ARCA Menards series when they do go. I went in 23, I went in 24, still up in the air if I'll be there in 25. Was also at the ARCA Menards series at Milwaukee, as they had the doubleheader with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, was working that as well for the PA. It's really cool how NR Night in America started off as something that was done in my bedroom. These drivers, when I was starting, they were just starting college or were still in high school. Now a lot of them grown up to be adults, and a lot of them working in the industry, and the ones that aren't there trying to break into the industry. Or just enjoying motorsports like the fans watching back at home. 62 laps to go. We've had lead changes nonetheless. Frank DeAngelis currently the race leader. Dylan Basin will pressure on the bottom. Toyota versus Chevrolet. We knew multi-group racing, that was going to be a big thing watching tonight. There's even rumors at Homestead we may see those drivers inches off the outside retaining wall, riding that inside lane. But what a treat from Kansas. Top 8 under a second with 61 laps to go. Just one caution in the books. But if you allow Dylan Basin to get out in front, there's a good chance you may not catch him. New race leader to turn 3. Schumacher in 14th. You see Gavin Austin going a lap down, well below that white line on the apron into turn 4. Steinmeier, Drake, Champagne, and Chase Crawl. The Crawl family having deep ties to motorsports in America. Chase's father, Charlie, works for the ARCA Menards series. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's the media director. Also broadcasts ARCA East and ARCA West on Flow Racing. Chase currently running in that 13th position. He's got Cody Workman behind him. He's got Douglas Newbigging as well. These drivers outside of the main group that are currently running. Now this is just behind Champagne and Nolan Drake. And you can see the damage on the right rear of the Kevin Champagne machine. And that Cole Rash 76 is absolutely amazing. I saw that at Daytona. That exact scheme looked fantastic. I hope it never leaves the ARCA series. Growing up, when I was watching the ARCA series, I always had a big love for the Sinclair machine. And Sinclair, when it left the sport, it was a real bummer. Now 76 is back in. And I wouldn't even say 76, you know, there is a loophole to get them in with the whole Sunoco deal with the NASCAR side, but having that 76 font on the side, really cool. Mosteller grabbing the outside wall. Joey back turns sideways off the nose of William Schmidt. dumps it in the grass, gets it back forward. A spin that caused no harm to any other driver. We stay green. Man. And it's allowed Dylan Basin to pull away to a nearly full second lead. Shamela, that's with Burrows. And for the ones that watch in person, yes, that would have been a caution, right? But on the sim side, you don't need a caution for it. Why is that? Well, no debris was thrown on the racing surface. Joey Beck was able to refire and get it back going. He is still racing in this event. And because of that, we say keep it green unless there is an incident on track that could risk other drivers. We will not throw the caution for it, including if it's off the racing surface. Can they catch Dylan Basin? Burrows P3. See multiple cars with damage from incidents deeper in the field. Ben Herter. Marty Shamela. .54 laps to go. And Burrows is toe-to-toe. Look at the move to the bottom. Schmidt 3 wide. That's with Mosteller and DeAngelis. And I will say this texture update, the graphics update, the lighting package that iRacing has brought in this new update. Fantastic. Love the look of it. And we will be able to see an updated Dover. We'll be seeing an updated Homestead Miami Speedway. Lap traffic playing a role in this event. Schmitty well to the outside lane. Marty Shamela there in third. Oh, he may get squeezed up to the retaining wall. 52 laps to go. Basin has pulled away. But that hasn't stopped many drivers just behind him. Here's toe-to-toe Collazo versus Max Steinmeier. Steinmeier in 46, Collazo in 11. Champagne in 10th. Workman has found his way into 11th. Douglas Newbigging in that 7. Back to the 12th position. Remember Joey Beck, remember his spin? Now back in the 19th, 20th position with that of Elenor Contreras. Ben Herter, Anthony Burrows. All sized up, charged up, coming off turn 2. Marty Shamela watching on from 6. DeAngelis, 7th position. Max Steinmeier still company from Hector Collazo in 11. .49 laps to go in the race. This is the battle up front. Oh, trouble! Collazo slides just off the end of turn number 2, and I believe he slammed the inside wall. Too many incidents the caution will wave. Now you can ignore how many wrecks you have for oh so long before a safety yellow needs to be deployed. And a huge hit to the inside for the 11. Hector Collazo. So many expected him to win the e-ticket event at Le Mans. Well, his e-ticket got derailed because of a lap machine, and right there, I don't think he gave the lap machine much room. From the right side to then the rear end, being slammed into the wall. Bring the caution out. 47 laps to go. Pit road, it's wide open. So we ask you all, what do you think of the ARCA Menards Series car? 94% say they love it. The racing has been fantastic, but also that was just off the look. So we got to ask you the other question, the iRacing graphics update. What do you think of the new lighting package iRacing has given us? We'll give you a moment to go ahead and think about it before we put the poll on out. Let's go ahead and chime in with some drivers before the restart. William Schmidt and Joey Beck, they got into it. Schmidt, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
You and Joey Beck got collected. What'd you see?
I was running the bottom lane of the banked part of the track, and he just kept running me down. I don't know what he wanted me to do. I told him over the radio, like, hey, I'm down here, and he responded with, I don't give a F. So I don't know. I don't know what his problem is, but it's Joey Beck, so I'm not surprised.
You got the ARCA car now in iRacing. You've been running well up front. I haven't seen you this excited for an NR night in quite some time.
Oh yeah, I love ARCA. I heard you talking about me watching all the ARCA races at the beginning of the stream. It is true, I do watch as many as I can, but yeah, I've been waiting for these things for so long, so the fact that they're finally here is really, really nice. They're a little tighter than I like them to be. You can't really get loose in them, but I'm sure there's going to be enough people talking about that that's going to get changed at some point. I think there's a way you can do that with the setup where you can make it looser, but yeah, I mean, regardless, I'm enjoying these things.
All right, got an opportunity ready to go here at a restart. You don't see a lot of breakaway unless there's a driver that gets a little bit out of line and spreads drivers out. How do you take this package?
I'm very conservative with it. We're going green.
We are going green. You're 100% right. We're going to drop Schmidt off as it's time to rock and roll with 45 laps remaining from the Heartland. This is Racing in Kansas with the ARCA Menards Series. Three wide looking. You saw Herder trying to inch his way through. DeAngelis in fifth. Mosteller P6. Three wide was down to two. Ben Herder, longest way around, and he's got it working. Eric W. gifting 5 memberships, very grateful for it. Fight for the race lead, William Schmidt. He's closed out wins before at this racetrack with the next gen, with the Xfinity Series stock car. Can he do it with ARCA? 43 to go. We've got that outside lane rolling. Herder stuck in a jam. And Basin really can't do much. 42 laps to go. DeAngelis P5, Mosteller P6. Workman, Steinmeier, Shamela, Douglas Newbigging. You can't forget about Chase Crawley, Lodom Contreras up inside the top 12. Contreras has been shown to run towards the front, including at Kansas. Could he mount up a charge? 41 to go. Switch back, William Schmidt, Herder around, right to the center of the field. Multiple cars involved, a wreck even bigger. One upside down, that's the 33. Ty Leclerc with a massive impact to the outside retaining wall, bringing the caution out for the third time. Man, that car's just junked. It happened oh so quickly. Watch up front. I believe it starts with Frank DeAngelis in 69. Oh, he gave him the hip check. I mean, from that angle, it looks like he almost got on the wall. Man. Watch these guys again. Ty Leclerc. And this was somewhat after. And the debate is currently underway on if it is an L1 or no penalty for the Frank DeAngelis 69. Cody Workman, William Schmidt, they line up 2 by 2 as drivers cycled through after that wreck. 38 laps to go, and we have lost a huge amount of the field. Man. And you see all those drivers that were involved, multiple drivers back on pit road. Carpenter, Warnish, there's Herder, Duel Owen, Joey Beck still with heavy damage in 18. And Frank DeAngelis still in as well, be starting from the tail. 37 laps to go in this race. Workman on the bottom, Schmidt on the outside. Restart once more from Kansas. William Schmidt, 3 wide. Marty Shimela on the bottom. He's going to go for it. Workman top end of the speedway. Bowers off turn 4. Mason, Schmidt, Newbigging, Shimela up inside the top 5 with 36 to go. The mosh pit carries back to 1 and 2. One looks top, another looks bottom. Mason is there on fresher tires. Can he find a way around? William Schmidt, the limbo. Doesn't fully work out, but he's still 3 wide for the race lead. Mason has won at Kansas so many times. The question is, can he do it once more, or can Workman still hold it back, giving an opportunity to Burroughs or Schmidt? One to the wall. Newbigging. Eladon Contreras underneath 3 wide. Burroughs in the second. Oh, gets up into the wall, and here comes the 60 machine. Check that, not the 60. That being the 97 on the inside, William Schmidt. 3 wide, Newbigging. And just when you thought Burroughs was going to be able to clear, Schmidt puts himself back in position. 3 wide it is. .31 laps remaining. Schmitty, top of the speedway. Marty Shimela in 5th. Moss Stellar in 3rd. Eladon Contreras, P7. He's got Crawl behind him. Three wide for the race lead. Mason in the middle. Schmidt to the left wing. Top end of the speedway, Mosteller. Was almost able to make it work. Look at Workman on the bottom. Daring move, Cody Workman. Tried letting it fly. 29 to go. Shimela way to the outside. Trying to figure out if he can net gain, and I think he will. This is what's left of this 40-car field. We've had massive pileups way deep back from the incidents that have happened, and with 28 laps to go, Dylan Basin has not been able to get away. Moss Stellar to the bottom. Basin to cover. swipes the bow to hold on. At 2/10, that is what the difference is. Shamela Contreras dropping back. What to do with what you have to offer. And look at the intervals. 1 second separating that 11 top 10, top 11 machines. Marquez Ramos back there at 12. An opportunity to sneak in. There's William Schmidt in 8th. Got it wound up top of the speedway. And Schmidt has led a good bit of laps in this race. Got 4 from the Basin machine. Basin leading the most, 34 at that. Mosteller has yet to lead 1. Same with Contreras, same with Burrows. And that caution really helped out Kevin Champagne. Champagne has found his way in this main group. What position you may add? Well, look no further than 6. Three wide. Contreras in the middle. Burrows on the bottom. Still see Crawl and Shamela both working that outside lane. Marty Shamela, P3, Dylan Basin, Mosteller, 1 and 2. 23 to go. Champagne in 4th. Contreras outside of Burrows. And Mosteller can start creeping forward once more to the back bumper of the Basin 18. 22 laps to settle it from Kansas Speedway. Contreras in 6th, Burrows in 5th. Drivers you expect to show up and show out. And then where's Daniel Mosteller just hanging on there in 2nd. So Basin has led the most laps, but these drivers have been hunting him down. Kevin Champagne, he's up to 3rd. And as they make a good move, started as low as 33rd. From the back to the front, think about Basin. Hasn't been outside the top 10. Burrows in 5th. Not able to get Shamela. Where could William Schmidt be? How about to the inside? The racing, it's been fantastic. 19 laps remaining. And for a lot of drivers that have gotten their way through the mess, the wildness, newcomers in the top 10, Douglas Newbigging back in 7th. Chase Crawl in 10th, Contreras in 9th. Drivers that stayed out, Cody Workman. Now back to the 10th position. Just 16 cars remaining on the lead lap. 18 to go. William Schmidt, P5. Marty Shamela hanging out in fourth. Champagne in second underneath Mosteller. Most way to the outside, giving all the daylight for the Ford in view. Champagne's got him. Up the second just like that. 17 coming to 16 to go this time. Douglas Newbigging, Max Steinmeier, Marty Shamela. All lined up to the outside wall, Anthony Burrows. There underneath, 2-2, toe-to-toe, excuse me. It's been a lot of talking recently. We had this stream last night before the media day. And allergy season is here. It's affected myself as well as multiple drivers. Shamela in 88. The aero package with the ARCA Menards series has really allowed the cars to stay together. But these general tire machines that are currently being ran with those tire compounds, it's hard. It's like a hockey puck, as previously mentioned earlier in the race. They're starting to wear, and you're starting to see the difference. Burrows, Schmitty, toe-to-toe. Mason the leader, Champagne in second, Mosteller in third. And there's William Schmidt. He's got Anthony Burrows sitting in fifth. And once again, I want to say thank you to everyone that's hanging out with us. 200 likes. We'll have race number 4 after this. We head to Iowa. Dylan Basin, the race leader, by just over 3/10 with 13 laps remaining. Big news out of the Champagne camp. Kevin Champagne is closing in. Towards the top side of the racetrack, you're going to just use a lot more throttle than what you're running with on the bottom. But on the bottom, you're saving more tires. Saving more rubber left on that machine. Will be 12 to go this time by. Top 3 under half a second. Schmidt and Burrows, they sit 4th and 5th. Not fighting for the position just yet, but Douglas Newbigging will try to join into that. It'll be 3 for the top 3, going for the win, and 3 looking for the fast 4. "11 laps to go from the Heartland. Champagne and Burrows. 2 drivers that had to work their way through this field now sit up inside the top 5. Champagne under 3/10 of that of Dylan Basin in his Toyota. The only thing is, Dylan does a great job getting off turn 4, a lot better than that of Kevin Champagne. Mosteller in 3rd, William Schmidt in 4th. Well, feels like inches off the outside retaining wall. Marty Shamela. Eberback just saw him in view. Him, Contreras, and Max Steinmeier. Got collected with each other, 7th, 8th, and 9th. 2/10. That's all that makes the difference between the top 2 of Ford and Toyota. Dylan Basin at 18, Champagne at 76. And for all the painters on iRacing and Trading Paints, when can someone go make a Sinclair scheme? We'll love to see that added at some point in the near future. Just over a tenth. Kevin Champagne in the Cole Raz livery. Mosteller, who was trying to keep pace with the top two, is dropping back to 8/10. Gives Schmidt an opportunity at a podium. 7 to go. And you can hear them breathe in that throttle. Inches off. I think Basin just kissed it. Any minor mistakes allows the 76 to make another run. Who would have thought first ARCA race in NR Night in America will come down between two veterans, two well-known veterans at that. He's thinking about it. We've seen Champagne make that wall up to the bottom. Gets into the outside wall of turn 3. Allows Basin to pull away. 5 laps to go from Kansas. The difference in or around 3 car lanes. Fights on for 4th, Schmidt and Newbigging. Burrows and Contreras, 6th and 7th. Four to go. That mistake by Champagne, it didn't fully affect him. He's still closing in. But the laps are running out. Three to go. He's got to do something quick. The only thing is, the fastest part of the speedway currently is the top of the racetrack. Not giving Champagne much room to work with much. And now Basin's able to pull away. Just 3.5 tenths the difference. But every half tenth, should I say, makes a big difference in this race. 2 to go. Mosteller in 3rd, Newbigging in 4th. They'll continue to fight on. Dylan Basin, he loves this track. He's won here so many times. And in style at that, winning by 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. He has 1 lap to see if he can get it done to be the first winner with the ARCA Menards Series. Salamanca, 1 to go from Kansas. Champagne in the fence. The advantage, enough for Dylan Basin to start celebrating. He'll come off turn 4 and will be the winner of the first run with the ARCA Menards Series on iRacing. Basin wins it in Kansas. Champagne 2nd, Mosteller finishes 3rd, Douglas Newbigging in 4th. Toyota strikes first on the night. And that's how it rolls. How about that? And we go to Dover just after this. Following up with Homestead at Miami Speedway, 200 likes. We'll see round number 4. And our night in America feeling victories all year long. For the ones wondering why the overlay numbers do not match the car numbers, the iRacing number and the trading paints number do not always match. The drivers have to manually do that on their own, unless it is an e-ticket event, an e-sport event, where we go ahead and do it manually. But with there being upwards of 200 drivers trying to compete every night for Enter Night in America, and drivers changing their paint schemes every single race, you do run into that issue. Let's go talk to Dylan Mason. Was a fun race. He really went out there and put on a show, leading the most laps. Mason, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that race, it was tight. You still led the most laps, but you had the pressure at multiple points. Let's talk about this car. What do we need to know as an audience?
Dirty air is pretty nasty. So is the draft. I mean, the draft is pretty crazy for what you would think. It wouldn't be what you think with a mile and a half package would be here. Like, he was riding on my draft the whole time in the corners. He couldn't do nothing because he hit my dirty air. So it kind of equaled out because he couldn't gain in the corners, but he was gaining on the straightaways. So that's what made it a little bit scary if he got close enough for a lunge. Once I broke away that first run and I had like a 3-second lead, that's because I broke the draft and they were no longer off of my draft. And I was pulling away after that. So I think the game plan is if you can find a way to have them battle for second and you're out leading and you just pull away, you're gone unless the yellow comes out. And after that, it's just a lot of mind games, just taking the lanes and stuff and knowing where they're going to run and making sure you don't wall it yourself.
And you were able to do that pretty well, but at some points they're able to get toe-to-toe with you. Was that mainly because of how much the draft is from what you expected to be less?
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the bottom lane and you have half the field running the top lane like the worst short run, they're going to blow by you. It was just, I would just aim for the clean air, whether it be the middle or the bottom lane, and eventually it worked out. I mean, I shot back out to the lead, and me and Kevin pulled away from the rest of the field. It's just keeping the tires on it for the first 10 laps of the run, get that clean air. Like, you can tell when everyone else starts falling off and when you have the grip. I mean, right there, I could literally do whatever Kevin was doing. If he cut down the track, I could block his air and cut down the track with him and stuff. So I think we have plenty of pace in it, and if I was behind him, I think it'd be crazy to run to the finish there because I feel like I had a lot of the tire left that I needed to have.
All right. Well, guess what? We go to Dover now. After that, we go to Homestead. Do you expect the racing to be a little bit different when we head over there to the Downs?
The Dover, I think it'll be a little bit different. You know, a lot more off throttle time and not as much of a variation in lanes, and tire wear is going to matter even more. Homestead, that's going to be, I mean, it just depends who wants to rip all at the start and try to be fast. I think Homestead will reward people that keep the tires on and be patient, not wanting to rip the top in the first 15 laps, and then start separating from there. But I feel like the beginning of the race will be very bunched up.
What's your opinion on this whole update, this whole iRacing update, on what they've changed and maybe what they've taken out?
I've been loving it. The lighting looks great. The track reskins have looked great. ARCA car is fun. The fixed setups on it are kind of trash, but that's not the car's fault. That's just what iRacing put out for them because, you know, it's a starter car, so they need to make it easy to drive. But, I mean, I'm just glad they have this car out, man. It's been too long.
I just realized this is now what the D class will be running with, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, it's just replacing the old ARCA Series car, which is also D class. So, obviously, they make it a little bit more easy to drive. I hope they add an open series for C class at some point. That would really make this car be able to have a lot more fun in it. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, another win in Kansas.